Alright guys, David here and welcome to Btekt, and this is an unboxing of the Doogee S90, which is a rugged and modular smartphone. Doogee make a range of rugged smartphones, the S90 being the flagship. This particular model has 128 gigs of ROM and 6 gigabytes of RAM and comes in a super mineral black colour. But before we get into it, I want to say a big thank you to Direct Mobiles. They have over 24 years of award-winning customer service, and it's just a great place to look if you want to get a good deal on your next phone. Check down in the video description below for a link, or just search directmobiles.co.uk. So you get a fairly nice case with it, because inside we see the modules. It's a modular smartphone, so this is the smartphone itself, and already attached we've got the 5000 milliamp hour mod, which will give you quite a bit of battery life I'm expecting from this. What else we get in here? This module is part of the Walkie Talkie unit, so you screw the aerial in there. This is quite an interesting mod. This is the night vision camera, so I'm quite interested to test that out. It's actually fairly light, it feels fairly light, the mods. Also in here we've got a USB type C, I'm hoping. Yep, USB type C cable in there. Oh yes, the wrong power adapter, but there it is. SIM ejection tool just chucked in there as well. USB to USB type C and a headphone jack dongle. Plus the regular quick start guides. So let's have a look at this thing up close, and you know, it actually feels very nice in the hand. It's heavy because it's a metal construction all around. We've got these sort of hard plastic bumpers across the edges. That's nice. We've got a notched 6.2 inch IPS LCD display with 1080 by 2246 resolution and 403 pixels per inch. It's a big phone with big bezels. It's thick and chunky and has this industrial style design, but I like it. All the buttons are also plastic, and weirdly the speaker grills are on the back side of the device. There is 2 speaker grills, but sound only comes out of one of them. At the top you get 2 dual tone LED flashes and a dual camera system with a 16 megapixel main sensor and an 8 megapixel for backup. It gives fairly good results, acceptable I would say. The front system is an 8 megapixel unit, which again gives fairly average results. Down the bottom there's a USB type C connector, which is protected with this rubber grommet. But luckily you won't have to use the USB socket for charging too much because of the 5000 milliamp hour wireless charger, which just snaps onto the back. On the left side there's a shortcut button that is mappable to whatever you want. You can actually map 3 different functions to this button, tapping once, twice and 3 times to activate. Volume and power buttons are on the right side, as well as the dedicated camera shutter button, which I really like. On the front at the bottom is a Doogee logo, which is not a button, it is just a logo. I have to say it's a little bit strange that they've got a notch on this screen and they've got the speakers facing backwards. There's plenty of space on the front of the device thanks to all the bezels to have placed both of those pieces of tech. You can hide the notch if you want to, but again it's a strange implementation, just squaring off the top, so you end up with an asymmetrical screen. There is a very slight recess of the screen, which should just about keep it off the floor if it happens to land face down, and it uses Gorilla Glass 4 for protection. Under the hood is a Btekt Helio P60 processor with a Mali G72 GPU. It runs Android 8.1, and while the performance isn't on the same level as some of today's flagships, it's really not too bad. As you'd expect, this phone is fully water, dust and shockproof. It has an IP68 rating, allowing it to be submerged in water at a depth of 1.5 meters for up to 2 weeks. They also say that this phone will withstand being dropped from a height of up to 15 meters. So let's take a look at the mods. So the 5000 milliamp hour wireless charger, which just snaps onto the back, is probably my favourite and most useful mod. I had high hopes for the night vision camera, but it does produce quite a bit of noise and isn't really as sensitive as I'd hoped it would be, and doesn't really work in complete darkness. Calling it a night vision camera is a little bit of a stretch. It just seems like a pretty good low light camera that's had its ISO pushed right up to maximum. There's a lot of noise which kind of surprised me. The Walkie Talkie module, although not really useful for me, as I'm always somewhere where I've got a bit of signal, I can see it being extremely useful for some people. For the adventurous types, people that go off-grid or climb mountains, things like that. In fact, the combination of the wireless charger and the Walkie Talkie could make it very useful for some people and for some businesses. And I like the way that they just snap on and snap off again. Anyway, that's it from me. Thanks for watching my unboxing and initial review of the Doogee S90. It's a good, tough and honest phone. It doesn't try too hard to be something it isn't. As far as the mods go, I think you should really think about whether or not you actually need them. I find the battery mod to be very useful. The night vision kind of works, although it doesn't work in complete darkness, and it does give a fair amount of noise to its image. The Walkie Talkie is a good one, but for me personally, I really don't have any use for it. I'm never anywhere that I don't have any signal. But if you're the adventurous type, then I can see it being an extremely useful mod to have. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, then please hit the subscribe button, double tap notifications and smash the like button. I've got lots more phone reviews and comparisons on the way. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. It's at Btekt. Or just add me on Snapchat, david.btekt. Thanks for watching. My name's David, and this is Btekt.